Hey guys, welcome back to Melon It Up with me, Mel. Today, first of all, I just want to say thank you for subscribing to the channel. I put my YouTube very hesitantly onto my Facebook yesterday, and all you guys just really surprised me, and thank you for the kind comments and for subscribing. Today, I was thinking of starting a new subset of content, a new type of content, whatever you want to call it. Basically doing some T2 infused recipes. So T2 actually do have recipes on their website that I think chefs and stuff create, infusing their the T2 teas into their recipes. T2 Discover. One of my best friends got me a subscription to T2 for my birthday, and they give you this little book in their subscription, and I'm assuming it'll be different every month, every quarter or whatever. One has a recipe for French Earl Grey infused creme brulee, and I've never made creme brulee before in my life, but it looks super duper easy, so you can't argue with that, right? So we're going to give that a shot. I am a little bit of a tea addict. I have a couple of teas. I'll give you a quick glimpse. So what I was thinking basically was to start using some of the tea that I have to create different types of recipes, and then I'll start with the ones on the T2 website. I'll put a link to the actual website with the recipe in the description below, because it's not my recipe and I'm not going to take credit for it. We'll see how it goes. If it fails, then don't try it. If it's great, then definitely give it a go, because it looks really easy. It's basically just a custard that you bake in the oven. Let's give it a shot. I'll zoom you down, show you what we have. So we have here some eggs, which is the base ingredient to most custards. I've split the yolks and the egg whites apart using the shells. You can use your hands, you can use those little gadgets that you can, you know, suck the yolk out of the white. We have some sugar here, so it's caster sugar. You will also need a bit extra at the end, because we're going to sprinkle over the top of the baked creme brulee, the cooled creme brulee, and blowtorch it to give that crispy top that creme brulee has. Cream, so I just have whipping cream. It says pouring cream. I feel like they're the same thing, so we'll give a go with whipping cream, and you'll know to do it differently if it's wrong. And then we have full cream milk. So for this recipe, unlike every other recipe that I've used milk in, this is actually cow's milk. It's lactose free milk, but it is full cream milk, so we're using actual milk today. And then it does say to use a vanilla bean, but I'm not about that life. I don't have a vanilla bean. I'm just using some vanilla bean paste. And then we have the French Earl Grey loose leaf tea. So this is a brand new packet. I actually already have some French Earl Grey, and they're in tea bags because I was taking it to work and drinking it like every day. So I'm going to use my French Earl Grey tea bags. It says to use 3 heaped teaspoons of French Earl Grey. So what I'll do is I'm just going to use 3 tea bags of tea, and that will just save me having to sift it at the end. But if you're using loose leaf tea, you'll put that into the pot with your cream and milk and strain it at the end, obviously to capture all the tea. So we're going to put the loose leaf aside, and I will grab 3 French Earl Grey tea bags. Alright, so here are our tea bags. What we'll do is we'll cut off the string and the paper. You're going to want a couple of weapons as well. So you want a spatula, a whisk. Mine's just, I don't know, it's the whisk I like using. I want a baking dish with a tea towel and 4 ramekins. I don't have proper ramekins. I have these little tiny Dutch oven pots that I got from Howdy, because I love Howdy. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put our cream, milk and vanilla into the pot with our tea bags, and we're just going to bring that to a boil. We also want a good squeeze of vanilla bean paste, or you'll put your entire vanilla bean in here. And then we're going to dump our tea bags in here as well. Medium heat until it almost boils. So we don't want it to be like a rapid boil, just as it's about to start bubbling. This is starting to boil, like just about to start boiling now. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to pop the lid on. And basically what we want to do is let the tea steep in there so it infuses into the milk and cream mixture for about 15 minutes or so, and that'll also allow the mixture to cool before we put it into the egg. Still steeping. I just wanted to come in and quickly tell you that I did add another tea bag, so there are now 4 tea bags in here steeping. I just feel that maybe the heaped teaspoon part of this, I'm pretty sure in 1 tea bag you're getting about a teaspoon, plus it'll just help infuse a little bit more. To me there's not enough tea, and because I drink it as well, it'll be less noticeable to me. So I put another tea bag in here. There are now 4 tea bags in this steeping mixture. Alrighty, so it's been around 15 minutes. The tea has been steeping. During the process, I've just been getting my spatuli and kind of pushing down on the tea to let it infuse and squeeze out all the tea goodness. So that's pretty much done. We're going to put that to the side for just a sec. We're going to grab our eggs and our sugar, and I'm using a dish that has a spout, so I'm sorry that you can't really see it, but the spout will help us pour it in easily into the ramekins. So what we're going to do now is we're going to basically just whisk these up, and you can use a hand mixer if you've got the whiskey attachment. I'm just opting not to do that because this is easier to clean up and put away. So just get your whisk and whisk the egg yolks and sugar together until they're light and fluffy. Alright, I'd say that's good enough. Because my arm's seriously about to seize up. So that's what it looks like. I'll show you a close up here. See if you can see in there. It's gotten lighter in colour and it's all mixed together. I'm going to go against everything I believe in right now, and I'm going to get my mixer out. I'm going to use the whisk attachment because my arm's killing me. We need to pretty much blend the milk and cream mixture into the eggs. So I don't want to end up curdling or cooking my eggs. So I'm going to get the whisk attachment and mixer out. So what I'm going to do now is grab our milk and cream mixture and try and squish out all the tea from the tea bag so that all the good liquid goes into the mixture. If you're using loose leaf and or a vanilla bean right now, this is where you would strain it, and then you would cut your vanilla bean open and you would add the pod inners into the cream here. I'm going to pour this into a jug because it'll make putting it into our egg mixture easier. Alrighty, now for putting the warmer mixture into our eggs on a low speed and start pouring in our mixture. Okay, so we have our completed mixture here. Now what we're going to do is pour this into these ramekins. I've got the kettle on boil because we're going to pour water in it soon. So you want to be super careful with this, you don't want to burn yourself. What we'll do is we'll grab one of these out at a time and start pouring them in. They're not completely over full, so they are a little bit bubbly, so that might have been because maybe I just overmixed the mixture. Like I said, I've never made this before, so I have no idea if that's going to impact the final result or not. If it does, I'll tell you, and you can learn from my mistakes and not do the same as I've done. And maybe mix it on a lower speed. But that's pretty much, they're looking great. I was worried that my ramekins might be too shallow or too small, but that was literally the perfect amount. So what we'll do now is we're going to add some water into the bottom of this dish, and that will help steam and cook everything and keep it, I don't know, whatever sciencey stuff is behind putting hot water into a dish with these. Okie dokes, we're going to pop this into the oven now and set a timer for 30 minutes and check it at that time. It says to cook them for 30 to 35 minutes. Obviously this will depend on your oven and the accuracy. Every oven is different, even if they do say they're the correct temperature. Also, ovens aren't completely even, so it may cook on one side more than the other side. So check it halfway through. You may need to turn it around. Just be super duper careful because there's hot water in here and you don't want to burn yourself. So I'll pop these into the oven now and I'll see you in about half an hour.
6.5 hours later.
Alright, let's talk about our creme brulee, our French Earl Grey infused creme brulee. This is completely unsugared at the moment, so it is purely, sorry, you'll see Pops behind me trying to steal stuff. This is the way it cooked. It didn't take 30 minutes, it didn't take 35 minutes. It took an hour and a half to 2 hours to cook. And I had, because I made 4, I had one that I was less checking, so I could ruin one of them as my tester throughout the whole cooking process, and it looked like it had curdled. I'm very interested to know what it'll look like for one that I didn't attack throughout the entire cooking process. It tastes really good. Taste 100% would eat, but the texture was weird, so I'm not sure what it's going to be like now that it's been sitting in the fridge. So I took this out about 2 o'clock today. It's been sitting in there, it's nearly 7:30. It's been in the fridge now for a few hours, and it's fully set. It's not falling out, it is set, but I've got a feeling it's going to have a weird texture, but we'll see what happens. Could be surprised. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, and I've never made it, like I said earlier, and I don't even know that I've ever actually had it ever. The one thing I do know is the top of this shouldn't be brown. It is supposed to be a custard coloured, well, a little pot of custard with, then you get your caramel and you burn it, right? So I feel like this is very wrong, but I'm going to sprinkle some sugar on it, and I'm going to use my blowtorch because that was one of the main reasons I wanted to do this, and we'll see what it tastes like. I just feel like it's going to be wrong. And a few things that I've thought about, I think I used the wrong cream. I think my milk and cream mixture was too cool when I was putting it into the egg yolk, so it didn't really cook like a custard would, and it didn't get thick. I could be wrong. I'm going to try this again though, so we'll see how this one goes. It may not make the internet. We'll see. Let's go. Grab some sugar. And we're going to sprinkle that on top. And then we're going to get our little blowtorch. Right, we're going to completely wing this because my torch won't work. So I've got a lighter here. We're going to see if that works. This couldn't get any worse, so let's give it a shot. It's got it mostly crunchy. Okay, the texture is better than what the one that I was attacking throughout the entire cooking process had. Maybe I was worried about nothing, except the top still was too dark, which had me wondering if I completely screwed it up. We'll get Matt to come in and have a taste of it as well, because he saw how bad the other one looked. And we'll see what he thinks. I think it's okay. The French Earl Grey is pretty good. We'll call in Matt, see what he reckons. Hey Matt!
Yeah.
Do you want to come and try this creme brulee?
Yeah.
Give it a shot. It looks better.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, I think it's alright.
Yeah.
So it was just that other one that was done.
Yeah, maybe because I was tampering with it throughout the process. Maybe it curdled trying to cook.
Right. Yeah, well the texture's much more
Custardy.
yeah. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
I was trying to work out if it was just that I liked it more than that other garbage one from earlier. The broken one.
Oh, I feel like in general I like it more.
Yeah. If it was just like better than that one or if it was good. I think it's good.
Yeah.
I think it is something that I would have.
Okay, cool. Well, you're probably not going to get... You're probably not going to get a crunchy top on it because I'm not standing here with a lighter all night. Well, there you have it, folks. That was our creme brulee with our French Earl Grey infusion. There are definitely a lot of other teas that I could use to do this with next time. I have many a tea, so I feel like it would work with a lot. And I have one that I would really like to try, which is a jam brownie tea. But the Earl Grey really worked. Super delicious. The actual recipe worked, which was a plus because I was very convinced that it was not. Learn from my mistakes. Don't play with one in the oven because it will curdle and do weird stuff and have you worried for the next 3 hours while your untampered ones are setting in the fridge. It came out really well. It's very smooth custard. I was reading about why they turn so dark on top, and it is because, or apparently because I beat my egg and sugar too much. If you get too much air in it, it does create bubbles, and that will sit and get brown before everything else. So trying to get as much air in it as I did, that seems to be the way to avoid getting a really brown top. I still think it took way longer than it was supposed to, and it could be because I had it on the wrong setting of the oven. But either way, it still came out. It was edible. It's delicious. It was actually pretty easy, all things considered, except for the whole stressing that I'd wasted half of my day making a creme brulee and all the ingredients that went into it, because it was pretty bad. It was kind of like, it was like a split custard. That's what it seemed like. It had a weird texture. It was really tasty. It is a really weird texture. It was kind of oily. I can't explain it, but just don't do that and you'll never have to experience it in your life. But follow the recipe in the description below because it does work. I used a regular whipping cream and it worked, and that was my concern, is that I used the wrong cream. It worked fine for me, so have a go. If you enjoyed this recipe and this very long tangent that I've been on for the last minute, please like the video, subscribe if you're new. Thank you if you've already subscribed. We'll see you next time. Have a great week. Bye.